are your reasons, this and this, let us try and work on this, provide answers, but you're not supposed to coerce them into making decisions. And it's quoting corruption a lot. So the executive and the judiciary have had a head-on collision in the past few days or months because of the housing levy majorly. And if you ask me, it is not coincidence. I mean, if there have been corrupt judges all along, like he claims, then they should have been taken care of long time ago.
Yes,
Why is it that corruption is coming out right now when you are
the president?
Yeah, you have an issue with the judiciary. Is it now that you're discovering that there have been corruption? That some judges have had cases of corruption for a very long time.
Hello, good evening, my people. This is Atec TV, and I want you to welcome inside to Gondani. Okay, guys, so this is the web talk show. We always on Atec TV, where we always say your world TV, your everything. We're also live on Atec Radio. We always say we are one step ahead for the best news, epic news that is trending, the ones that you find. We get you covered outside globally. I mean globally, worldwide. And guys, welcome again. Remember to share, comment, ask questions here, ask questions, ask. We have amazing guest today in the studio with me, and she's joining me today. I've been following up on her. I will tell a bit about herself, and I've been following up on her. And as we have seen, she's a young leader. She's a young lady, young woman. I don't know how to say it. She's a young woman, and we've seen that she's been on big platforms with the courage she gets. We don't know how she has the courage. I don't know kama kuna kitu anatumia kwa sababu that courage to sit with the big people, the big men in the country, the rulers of the country. And also we hope we're gonna see her outside to other countries, outside other countries, also other countries outside to meet other leaders in other countries. We hope so in future. We don't know. And guys, so she's in the studio. She's one of the best persons who are coming to sit in the human rep in 2027 as young. She's a very young lady, young, and I'm talking about Miss Gitaranga on my side. Actually, tell us your name and tell us who you are. Who is Gitaranga? May I know you as Gitaranga?
Yes, that is my name. I am Esther Gitaranga. I am a student at the University of Nairobi. I take a double major in political science and psychology. I'm also the president of Women Students Welfare Association. That is a body that covers the welfare, the rights, the privileges, and the opportunities of the girl child at the campus level, of which in the recent past we have extended our services to the community. So we are not just at campus level, but what has the campus girl done to empower the society around them?
Yes, she's talked about she's Esther Gitaranga. She's a president, Her Excellency. Unajua nikikaa hapa ndani nakaa na Excellency, lazima nicheze na rada. Uko na namba yangu? Unajua unaweza umana hapa. Ako na namba yangu kunipigia. Ndampigia. Ndawapatia hata mimi namba. Unajua ukisikia umekaa na Her Excellency. She's talked about she's the president of Women Association of Student Council, something like Woswa. And she has said Woswa is not only about the school, all about the comrades, Waloko University, I don't know, comrades. It's also widely ranged. It's been put outside also for communities, women, young women wants to be leaders. I've been given a chance in the Woswa organization. It is an organization.
Yes.
And she's very brilliant. I haven't heard what she has not talked to us, told us about her Nakuru. She's from Nakuru actually. And one thing confused me Nakuru. I know Nakuru as one of the Kalenjins, the community Kalenjins belong there. But I came to be surprised even Kikuyus are there. The governor is Susan Kihike. She's a Kikuyu, and I was like, how you people confused? Mama mimi ndio sio my story vizuri. Unaweza nielezea hapo pia mimi nielewe.
Nakuru is not predominated by one tribe. It has several tribes. Utapata Wakisi pale, you will find Luo men there. But the major part from Subukia Bahati, Mailisita, all the way. It is mostly dominated by the Kikuyus. Kalenjins are found. And we also have Kikuyus on the sides of Njoro, Elbago, and Kalenjins are mostly on the western side of Nakuru.
Okay.
Yes, from Egerton, moving on to that side. But it is a county that accepts everyone, and it is dominated by several tribes.
You know, I that is where I was really confused. History is good to learn. I think I should go back to school so that my history teacher is getting ashamed. But I didn't do history. Mimi nilipenda hesabu sana. So with me, I was just today. This is the Web Talk Show, and she has given us a good introduction that is very interesting. And guys, I always tell you, the Web Talk Show is one of the shows that we give you the epic talks every different in scenarios. We talk about what is that affecting you, what is that disturbing you. So today we are here in the discussion of youths. And youth into politics, youth and politics actually. She's a young youth and we can look at, she's not 36 years, she's a very young youth. And we can look at, she's one of the bravest, can I say brave? She's one of the bravest. And the topics we're going to discuss today is about the judiciary, head to head, the state war, judiciary and the state war actually. What is happening in the country? You can see, watch news, you see what is happening. She will be here to explain to us. And the second one, we're going to look at the national party nominations. Especially, she will tell us which party she's supporting, which party will she stand with in the 2027 election, and she's going to be the women rep of Nakuru County. And she's going to tell us about Nakuru development scorecard in politics. Leo ni leo, si ndio? We need to learn about Nakuru. Every day we have Nairobi today. We are in Nakuru. So guys, when you are a youth out there, do you think a youth in Nakuru actually, youth in Nakuru, do you think your government, the Nakuru government, has set you aside, or is it putting you closer to all your needs and what you need? All what that you require to become a youth, that are they putting you closer or are they putting you aside? So it's up to you to talk to us, share it on the comment section, and give me your answers by tagging Aditech Media or tagging Lisa. Gitaranga will be there. She will be following up very closely to answer back, to give us a response on the questions you'll be asking. So don't forget, tell a friend, and comment. We can go to Gitaranga. Tell us about Woswa. We need to know, what is Woswa? When did it start? How did you acquire that position? You know, actually, which year are you in? We want to know which year are you in. Is it third? Did you just enter school and you are called Gitaranga, the division line? Gitaranga, you're going to be the president of Woswa. How did it start?
Woswa is the body that began at the University of Nairobi in the year 1986. It was inspired by the challenges that women were facing, especially in the leadership capacity. Girls were delegated to only hold flower girl positions, like the vice chairperson, like the treasurer. You know, for them it was more about being seen than being heard. And we thought, we want to be heard, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want our voice to be represented at the table. So that is how Woswa came in, to support the ladies who want to get into politics. And over the years it has been working very well. But then it has also come to acknowledge that besides leadership, there are other things that needs to be addressed. We have had issues to do with sexual gender-based violence. We've had issues to do with body shaming. We've had issues to do with rape and killing of young girls and insecurity. So Woswa basically addresses upcoming issues that affect the girl child at the campus level. It is not limited to one issue of leadership. It has expanded to academics, to economic empowerment, to society empowerment. You know, it is open to the new upcoming issues, because we are in a world and the world changes every day. The issue that is here today is not the issue that is there tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, she's told us about Woswa. Maybe this young lady from anywhere. maybe from Nakuru or part of the country, would love to join Woswa. How how can she join the Woswa organization? Because she has these skills of being a leader, all this stuff. Is there space for them?
Yes, Woswa is a body that is very welcoming, especially to the girl child. We have our website. If you search www.woswa, you will get us there. We also have our Facebook page. It is called Woswa KE. And you can also contact me directly. All my social media handles, I am Esther Gitaranga. Very reachable, and you will get the support.
That is a very good thing because the guys, ladies, now we have access to everything. Is it ladies only or guys also? Is it dealing with both genders? Because yes, women. I just said at the start of this Women's Association leadership in Kenya. Is there day? Does it have all the genders actually?
I think that is the hardest problem that I've had in my tenure as the Warsaw president, because the boy child keeps telling me, you've left us out, you've left us out. But the thing is, I have so many male friends who support our agenda, because here is about inclusivity, here is about equity, it's about creating an opportunity for everyone. And you won't be surprised that even in our WhatsApp group, if you come there, there are so many gens. And I'm saying, as long as you're supporting this agenda that we have, then you're very much welcome on board. In fact, there was a motion to change Warsaw from being Woswa to become Womeswa, so that it can include men. Because our activities are so many, so many, so many. And we do not intend to make the boy child weaker or fight the boy child. Ours is to create an environment that accommodates the girl child, that is welcoming, and we cannot do that alone, because an empowered woman also needs to be handled by an empowered man. So also is very welcoming to both genders, but we have our agendas set on the table. You can always see on our pages, we have our agendas. There is what we are pushing for. So anyone, any gender, as long as we share the same vision as we do, then you're most welcome.
Okay, guys, we have heard up on her, and she'll talk about the was. I was actually going to ask her if they're gonna have a plan to change the name of Woswa to, maybe because it's starting with women, and I was wondering if they can change the name. But she has talked about they're working on a women's what?
Womeswa, Womeswa, that is what they suggested.
Womeswa. I don't know what the full is going to be, but if you have a suggestion of how they can should call the organization, because also the male child wants to be involved in what we are doing. Widely, I think also this is a very good thing because it's giving women chances to those who have not been heard, and you're given a chances in the community and society. Just talked about if you're in the community there, you want to join. It's always a free stuff to join. You can check it on the social media. You just call her. She's always right there with you. We wonder if she's going to be that way when she's the women rep of Nakuru, because right now ni kupiga kura ama tunasemaje? Unajua ni mwanasiasa pia. So guys, we're here again. Okay, so Gitaranga, tell us about how did you enter the politics?
Well, I wouldn't call it entirely politics. I will say it just started as leadership. Yeah, back in 2017, I think that is where I started taking up serious leadership roles. I was the chairperson of the youth at Nakuru Dinari, and we organized a lot. We did a lot of activities. We would welcome youth to the church, to come out of drugs, to come out of community crime, to come to the church, and we'll engage into things like football, things like drama festivals that used to keep the young people busy. And in the process, we also pray, we also get into church. But then when I came to campus, I was admitted to take political science. So I started learning about leadership, and that is where I heard about Woswa. Woswa is actually the organization that really held my hand when I was a first year, because I came to Nairobi on my own. Like, I just took my suitcase and came to campus on my own. Yeah, I didn't know Nairobi. I didn't know where to navigate, and in the middle of being lost, I was held by the then Woswa chair. Her name was Angie Mwangangi. Big up to you. I will always respect that. She held my hand and she No, she took me through the system. She guided me, this is how to go about things. And I said, that one act of kindness that was done to me by this chairperson of Woswa, then I am obligated to give back. And the best way to do that was by joining Woswa. And when I was in second year, yes, I went for election and I was elected first as the main campus representative for Woswa.
Wow.
Over the years, I went up the ladder until I became the president. So it has been a good journey.
So you were in the election, you're doing election, and also campaigning. Did you campaign with those men? Actually, there were guys also, the male child, the other gender. They were giving you pressure. I know how it is to do campaign in the university. I was so hard in school. The pressure is high. A lot of things happens. A lot of shitty things happens. Some good and good. How was your take? Did you fear? You're just courageous. Did you have any support from outside or somebody inside? I'm on a connection at chancellor.
I think I think my first elections was my most interesting one because it was during the COVID-19. So a friend of mine called and said, I am vying. I was like, for what? So elections are here, yeah. So I didn't have a smartphone. I had lost my phone. And then we were not in school. It was actually online. So I do not have a smartphone, but I want to buy. So I told my sister, can I borrow your phone? I sent an email and sent my application. And then she can't give me her phone full time. The economy was hard in your time, your COVID-19, you know. So
Yeah.
for some time I didn't
I
have.
understand that.
Yeah, I talked to my mom. She gave me some little money. I went to the studio and made posters. When I sent with my sister's phone, I just left it there and said, come and buy. Then I don't know, it was received actually very well because I received so many calls. I personally I didn't even vote myself in. I didn't have a phone. And then my friends did the campaigns for me. They said, vote Gitaranga. She's not online to do the campaigns in the WhatsApp group. She's not there physically because everyone is at home. I was literally not there. It is people who did the campaign for me. So throughout my leadership, there is no way I can stay out of touch with the people because they put me there. It is them who decided, no, Gitaranga is not here, but we are going to do it for her. So I was really tense the whole time because unaenda elections na wewe mwenyewe hujajipigia kura. You know, you can't even follow up on anything.
The voting was online.
Yes, the voting was done
very
online.
Manipulated.
No, it's not manipulated because it was conducted by the school.
By the school.
Yeah.
So the school, this time, you said you are in Nairobi University.
Yes.
We hear Nairobi University is one of the notorious universities in Kenya. The most notorious. It's not one of the best. I can't say it's the best.
It is the best, but all right.
We do know when we given a categorically, we look at the University of Nairobi with very notorious. Actually, when handling elections, when it comes to student leadership, were you not thinking of this is my second year and I'm in elections? I'm in University of Nairobi. The first thing, oh my God, what is going to happen? Did you know you're going to win, or do you have any competitor? Because if you won, that means there's no competitor. There was no competitor. That's very serious.
There was. The reason I won is because people voted me in. I did not have any connections to anybody because Woswa is majorly run by students. The dean of students just oversees things. They just held the system, but there was no corruption. I didn't know I was going to win. I did not pick the phone the whole day because everyone who is calling me in the evening, I don't want to say ilifika point yenye I was not receiving calls literally because I didn't think I was going to win. So it got to a point where my friend just texted, okay, if you don't want to see our calls, then go to Facebook to the Woswa page and see the results from there. So I went there and I saw a poster written, congratulations, Gitaranga. I was so excited because I honestly didn't believe it was going to happen because I had not put in a lot of work into the campaign. So I thought I was going to lose. I was competing with a lady from Lower Kabete, but I believe it is the people who put me there, not the system.
So it looks like you're more conservative with people. You get a second year and you're competing against maybe the lady was maybe third year or fourth year, and she's very known to the roots of the school and the elections, and you are just coming in and you're competing with her. So yeah, I understand. It's very congratulations to being the president of Woswa. After how many years again you did the elections? How long did you sit?
We are going to do the... No, when I was starting, I was not the president of Woswa. I was the main campus representative.
Oh, okay.
I was not even in the main executive. I was just supposed to hold main campus only.
Okay.
And then the following year, I vied for Secretary General. Then now in the final year, I vied for President.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we look into your future. Okay, that is very bright and brilliant. You look more conservant with the people. You're more connected to people than anything else.
True.
Watu wangu ni kama Nakuru ishachukuliwa. Nakuru is gone. Nakuru is gone to Gitaranga. We're going to give her the seat actually. She's a very good lady, young woman. We hope when 2027 come, you know, watu tukikana wanasiasa, there are people who have sweet words and they talk nice things, and when it comes to the nice things, you people know what they say, you know. She knows what I'm saying, that's why she's smiling. When I followed up on your post, Charles, I followed you on social media. I look at every move you make. I look at every move you make on Twitter. I see you're seated with Raila Amolo Odinga, the chief of opposition. How was the feeling? Raila is here and you're next. What was the occasion on that day? You were just there. Did you? What was it? The way you're sitting, guys? You can follow her on all social media. She has sat with Raila Odinga one-on-one, the chief of opposition. Remember that is one of the people when you're seen with him, you just know where you're going to end. It's always something you want to be there. You want to fight the government. That is what is usually initiation, right?
Yeah.
When you're seen with Raila, the chief opposition, Raila Amolo Odinga, you're seen with him. People just it is intended like you're planning something. It's starting to recruit. You're going to go against the government. So every move of yours is made. How was your feeling? How did you take it? How was it? What was the scenario behind since you said with Raila?
I've met Raila on several occasions, but I had never sat with him to have a conversations. You know, this is Gitaranga and this is Raila. So I used to see him from a distance, ile yenye unachungulia ndio utokee kwa picha yenye kiongozi yako, you know. And it was, in most cases, I do not like meeting people I consider heroes, because many a times you're disappointed. You sit with people and you're like, I've been ranking this person so highly, kumbe hakuna kitu, you know. So most of the times I do not like meeting my heroes directly. I just like admiring those qualities I've been admiring from a distance. But then with Raila, it was different. He's composed. The Raila you see on TV is the Raila in personal life. Like, there's no much difference. He's a person I really respect. He's a person I really honor. He's humble, I would say. And he's a person who is willing to listen. You know, sisi ni watu wadogo. There's nothing much I can offer him. And when a person of high ranking listens to you, knowing very well that he's not expecting anything from you, then it is an honor, and I've received guidance from him and I really appreciate, and I will do my best to be the best I can. I would want to be a mini Raila, but then in as much as I really admire him, I would like to take up his qualities to form Gitaranga. I wouldn't like to be him. I want to be Gitaranga, but who has learned from
Raila.
Yes.
The qualities, want to buy the qualities from Raila. She already started. I don't know if you have seen her many times. She fights so much for the students, leaders, the students in schools. I don't know if outside the community she does the same thing, because that day when you know, for us, for example, when you find you sit with Raila Odinga, it's always something. I'm asking because the security, a security purpose. Did anything bother? Did you sleep? Did you, when you look at your phone, you feel like someone is trying to do some, like, hey, what if I'm going to be arrested? What if I'm going to be caught? Because now so whenever you just say anything about Raila, we saw the other day about his birthday. You'll tell us what is your take on the birthday that happened in town, in Tomboya Street, where the people are tear gassed. You'll tell us about the take. So when you sit with Raila, did you feel any security issue? Did people bother you?
Actually, I didn't feel any insecure, because I believe I'm a law-abiding citizen of this nation. And as long as I've not broken any rules, then there's no reason for me to be afraid of my security. Again, I am not worth assassination or something of that kind. So I'm just a small girl, a village girl from Nakuru County. There's I don't I don't think there is so much to be afraid of. I am just learning. I am not Raila. I am not him. I am just me trying to learn from him. So many people meet Raila and they are okay. There is nothing that has happened to them. So I don't see why I would be afraid.
That's why we see a lot of students who just support Raila side, the chief opposition. They always get in trouble. They're always in trouble. Either in cells, arrested today, removed, released. Those are the scenarios. We have come across the scenarios.
Yeah, but are they really arrested because they were seen with Raila? Come on. The last time...
the voice we hear, I'm talking about the voice we hear, Gitaranga, is we follow up a lot on people who are harmed. Many of them are arrested. Many are in cells because of supporting Raila, maybe in the wrong side, in the ground of Raila Odinga. They just see, for example, you just sitting, you're told Raila has inspired you to start Mandamano. Now you are arrested.
I mean, come on, those are stereotypes. Let me tell you something. The last time I was arrested was during the Mandamano. Yeah? Raila did not send us to go and do a press.
Yes, but that's what the police, the laws, the security laws do take. That's what they do. Let me
give you this scenario.
Yes.
Raila did not even know that we were doing a press. We just sat down, Jeshi ya Baba, we looked for the uniforms and we went to Chester House and we called the media and we addressed what we wanted to say. We were talking about student politics. We were talking about, there are so many stereotypes out there, but people are not literally sent at it. Raila does not send anyone to commit a crime, in as much as I know. I just think people commit crimes, but since they are affiliated with Azimio, it is seen like it is a directive from him, or it is a culture from that, of which it is a very bad stereotype, if you'll ask me. And like the people who are celebrating the birthday in town, probably Raila was in Malindi enjoying himself with Joho and his other friends. He didn't know people are in the middle of CBD celebrating him. So why would you come there? Those people are doing nothing wrong. If you see that video, they were just singing Happy Birthday, Baba. There was totally nothing wrong with that.
You will do the video so that the viewers can see, so that we hear from our ears.
There was nothing wrong with that video. People were just singing Happy Birthday, and then from nowhere, people are just tear gassing you. I mean, I wish it was something like, maybe you came and said you're disrupting a certain business, of which there's no exact business going on at Tomboya where they were, or they could have said the exact reason why they were doing wrong, and then just tell the people you're not supposed to be here because of this and this and this. But you do not just come from nowhere and start tear gassing people and chasing people around and arresting people. That is uncouth.
We have that is uncouth, and we're gonna have enough discussion on the chief opposition, and we're gonna take a short commercial break. Don't touch the dial, don't touch the button. Actually, of your remote. We are coming back with hot discussion and the topics. Don't get it. If you have any question, you know what? Find us on Facebook at Actech TV Kenya, on Twitter, it's not Twitter. I'm sorry, it's called X. Nowadays it's called X. We come up with it's called X, and you can WhatsApp us, you can email us. So thank you. Come back. See you shortly. Mesema bang 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 bang, guys. Welcome back. Tunaenda kukaranga kitunguu kidogo, tukirudi tuweka nyanya kidogo kidogo, tuweke chumvi. Chakula itakuwa in the next 1 hour. Tumetoka mbali watu wangu. Kama unakumbuka nini ulisomea kwa Kiswahili, mimi nakumbuka tu ngeli ya zilikuwa kulikuwa na kizi, ama mimi ndo na gezi. Kulikuwa na ngeli ya kizi, ulikuwa unasema kitenzi ziwa. Hizo unajua. Alafu kulikuwa na ukubwa, hali ya ukubwa, hali ya udogo. Yaani mtu alikuwa na definition yake kwa ukubwa, udogo. Kwa English hatuna hiyo. English pia kuna hali ya ukubwa na udogo. Lakini nouns ni nini? I was better in grammar, guys. I loved grammar. My English teacher was Madam Lucy. I salute wherever she is. Alikuanga kila saa kifika pepangu inamakiwa naitwa. Naitwa kwa hiyo ofisi. Ilikuwa kadogo, nafungiwa mlango ndani, naambiwa, what did you write here? Mali nilikuwa naanguka sana ni zile maswali za dash dash dash. Ni story na wewe unajaza. Yaani mtu ananiandikia, anaona mimi ni mjinga, si ndio? So I'm really grateful for the journey we have had. Now we are in the other school, other stage of life, and their life is not easy. I cannot promise. If you see the mathematics we do there, people, ama bobo unapatanga hii.
Hapana jameni. We are not first class, but we are also not that bad.
Naonanga comrades wamejiva, mtu anafanya subjects ni 7. Amepewa 7. Akiangalia mathematics ni 0 out of 20. Not 20. I'm sorry, not 20. It's 60. Wanaanguka na akona the courage is that they post online. They are posting it online. He has very good courage to post it. My dad is paying school fees and the help is there also to help me up. I'm a comrade and I'm doing mtu anafanya engineering automatic. It's automatic. Automotive engineering. Alafu ile hesabu amepatiwa pale anapata 0 out of 60. My people, that is how it is in the comrade life, and it's never easy. Masomo ile ulikuwa unafanyanga huku, utakutana huko, ulikuwa unapoa swali ya square root, huku unaifafanua ni kama unaandika kitabu mpya. Lakini to all the form 4s who performed better, nimeona watu wamepata A wingi. Lakini tumeona female, the female gender 371. That's very low.
I think the people who went to campus are just 22%.
32%
of the whole population that did KCSE. So about 78% will not be going to campus.
Oh, but I think I would love a request. Wewe ni kama Paul, wewe unajua sasa wewe ndio sauti yetu hapa. Sauti guna ya sauti yetu hapa chini. Ningependelea kwamba sasa ile wakati mnafanya zile campaign zenyu pale, mnapiga ile sauti, mnashika ile microphone pale, mnaongea. Raise something that we need free people, like even a D minor to be given a chance to the technical university. If it's not now in Kenya, yes, university and college has been ranked like university is the highest and college is the lowest, and the technical ones is the TVET ones is the lowest. The Z, the one that can handle the D, the E. We would love for all these people. You can tell me 78% where they're going to be. Wanaenda wapi? Watafanya nini? Maybe mtu alikuwa na hope ya kusoma na kuperform vizuri ile KCSE. Muraise hiyo sauti. Unaona nawatetea kama wananchi, na watetea hapa, na tuko na mtetezi wetu na ni mwanamke gangari strong, anakaa katikati ya wanaume. She's very strong, very strong. Umesikiza wa cry.
Yes.
Utashughulika watu kufuatilia, akikosa siku wakati wa kura na tunamwambia ulikataa kufanya ile jambo. Congratulations to all those who performed better on the KCSE 2023. You scored an A. We're very grateful to the female gender. You tried all you can, but the male gender, kwani ni wanaume pekee ndio ile Kenya? We saw a lot of A's, and the new system is really, it looks nice, the new system. I don't know how it works, but I wish I could go back to Form 4 and do exams so that I can see how it is going to work. We wish. Oh, what is the take on the new system? We saw this years of education, Mr. Machogu launched. How was it? Yours was SMS. Unasoma SMS ukitetemeka. Sasa umechukua 20 bob ya kubai mbogo umeka credit.
No, I think the biggest problem I had with what the CS said is the issue of saying that people will be admitted to school and then they will be vetted later. No, I was talking with a friend of mine and he was telling me that is like saying people will be giving birth and then baadaye is when they get pregnant. You know, like it doesn't make sense. You cannot admit me to school and then you vet me later. What if I am not qualified? You pull me out of school.
That is very sad.
Yeah, it's really
we should not think about it. You know, you are not the CS of education. We will ask Machogo. Machogo, if you can reach us, Kindly, can you respond to the claims of, not claims, you said it. He talks about it, and he talks when you watch the full release of video, the full forum, the full launch of the new system that the NEC brought up to check results. I haven't had a lot of complaints. I haven't seen a lot of celebrations in the country. Only I'm seeing in social media. I got an A. I'm from a poor family. I got an A. It's A everywhere. No, sisi wakati wetu, you could not share your marks on social media. Either word it. utumie family. Utumie family. It was either you edit the marks, but this one inakuja kama already printed. You can't edit anything. It's already printed and served with the neck, and also have a stamp, and you can't change anything. We are grateful for the new digital life. The movement of technology is taking everywhere, it's taking the world, and now things are going to be easy. We go back to our discussion. I'm gonna remind you, this is the Web Talk Show, and we are live on Attic TV. We always say your world TV, your everything, and we are also live on Attic Radio, where we will say we one step ahead of you. And today I had she's amazing guest by the Mona, tukipingana hapa kidogo. Usiangalie chemistry, ni kucheka. Tunajua lazima nitengeneze sauti na picha kidogo na chemistry. Wakati amekuwa president pale, kinaweza ni ramba na anapigia anasema excellency, watu wananiramba huku nje. Control. Connection lazima, connection muhimu. We go back to Gitaranga. My question, you have seen what is happening in the country. Do you know what I'm gonna put it about the state war? What can I say? The state house or the state war between the judiciary and the state. We should say the state government or the state of the nation. Which one? The state war. It is like a state of war. The judiciary and the state. What can you explain to us? What is your take? Because we had the other day the president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, he quoted this way: "We must deal firmly and decisively with corruption in the judiciary." And I mean it. I mean it.
You know, we studied about the three arms of government in primary: the judiciary, executive, and the legislature.
Yes.
So the executive and the judiciary have had a head-on collision in the past few days or months because of the housing levy majorly.
Okay.
But these arms of government are supposed to operate independently. Each is not supposed to be influenced by the other. If at any point they have to collaborate, then it is in the interest of the country to come together and support each other. But one arm of government should not act as the supreme law, to be the one to decide what happens in judiciary, what happens in legislature. No, Kenya is becoming almost a lawless nation, because you understand even the legislature is being influenced. The decisions that are made by parliamentarians are influenced by the executive. So now we are seeing it extending to the judiciary, such that judiciary are not allowed to make decisions independently based on how they have scrutinized the situation, but based on the interest of the executive. Because I think at this point, the president should be more concerned with why is the judiciary opposing the housing levy? What reasons are they giving? At first they said it is about why are they only taxing a certain number of people, what is the criteria going to be used to give out these houses, how practical is the, these are the questions that the executive should be looking at. They said, okay, you have rejected this housing levy, what are your reasons, this and this, let us try and work on this, provide answers, but you're not supposed to coerce them into making decisions. And it's quoting corruption a lot, and if you ask me, it is not coincidence. I mean, if there have been corrupt judges all along, like he claims, then they should have been taken care of long time ago.
Yes,
why is it that corruption is coming out right now when you are
the president?
Yeah, you have an issue with the judiciary. Is it now that you're discovering that there have been corruption? At some judges have had cases of corruption for a very long time. They've been there for a long time, but you're only discovering this when they are ruling against you. They were not corrupt when they were declaring that you won elections legitimately. You know, uh, I am not supporting that judges are not corrupt. I am just saying that it should not be a reason that should be used to coerce them to make decisions. If a judge is corrupt, let him be fired. Yeah, let the legal procedure be followed. But you cannot say it is either you make the decision that I have said or you will be fired because of corruption allegations. It is wrong, and citizens of this nation should not allow it to happen because the rule of law applies to everyone. Nobody is above the law, and we should allow the arms of government to function the way they should constitutionally. Yeah.
You have talked about explaining to the three arms. If you didn't do your social study in primary school, there are three arms of the government: the law, the legislature, and the judiciary. And she has told us about the farms should be operated separately. Now the farms, it's like they don't have power, right? They have no power because now the president of the state of the nation is the one wants to control. He wants to be the decision maker of everything. Is that really allowed? Because we have seen many times when back then, I think it was in 2017 when we saw, is it that the former president Uhuru Kenyatta was, the elections were getting nullified. And we had, they followed the judiciary decision, the courts, the Supreme Court, as they decided that it's going to be this way. It is upheld, and they followed it how it went. Doesn't mean because he talked about someone, he claimed on his Facebook page that His Excellency William Ruto said that someone told him that the judiciaries are corrupted and they are receiving corruptions for certain things and certainties in the former government. And that doesn't mean it was not in the former government, because the former government that just left, it was the deputy president. So can you try to explain to us, because we don't know how it is relatable, because he's saying someone told him, someone, he was part of the government before, or was he not part of the government?
You know, the biggest problem we have in this nation is that we are very good at accusing people of books. Right now, I can come and say, Lisa Wanyanda, I was told that you killed someone last night. But then if I am told, I will be very loud on social media. People will actually buy the story. But then when I am told, go to court, report Lisa, because that is what should be done, right? Report Lisa, say that she killed a person, provide the evidence, and she'll be taken to prison or something, you know. So if the previous government did all these things that they are being accused, because this regime right now, every mistake that they do, they are blaming it on the previous government. I mean, if these people broke so many laws, they should be taken to court and they should be convicted because it was wrong, right? But then they are not doing that. Why? Because they cannot prove anything, and these things are not entirely true. So you cannot say that the judiciary is right when they are talking about the elections, but they are wrong when they are talking about the housing levy. It is either it is a body that is working or it is not working. It cannot only be functional when it is in your favor. No, you were in this government, ati pesa iliwekwa kando to cater for corruption.
How does that happen? Because is it part of the budgeting of the economy, the corruption money? It has to come from what people, the the taxation that people bring daily, the daily collection that council takes, the city council do take. So that they break down, is it part of the economy money? We want to develop this. They deduct a bit of it and put it to judiciary. So you mean there's money in Kenya for corruption in judiciary?
That is what they are trying to claim, but so it does not even make sense. Actually, there's a budget allocation to handle corruption. What are you even saying?
How? Because corruption is what the government, the current government of Kenya is trying to fight. But now you hear they have allocation of a side budget to fight to do corruption in the judiciary. maybe you can tell us, you make us understand what do they mean by there's a budget allocated for corruption, because this is it from this government or the former government? If it was from the former government, we already, this government is already 1 year old
No, the
in the
president
seat.
said, the president said that he has received intel that the former government, which he was part of, but apparently he was not engaged in such, but the people who were in government previously, apart from him, had allocated some money that they were using to get favorable court rulings from the judiciary. But for him and his regime, he's not going to allocate that money because he has, Kenyans have him and they have God to defend him. So the Uhuru government was supported by the corruption fund that was put aside, but for his government, it is God and him who are going to ensure that there is favorable court ruling. You know, that really does not make sense to anybody. It is, I would rate it as pure propaganda and a lot of nonsense. You know, if people corrupted, take them to court and let them return this money. Stop saying that people employed sinister methods to get court rulings. The fact that you didn't know all these things until you had a problem with the judiciary, that is when all these things are coming out. You know, I mean, listen to the judiciary, know why they are opposing this housing bill and work on the propositions that they are bringing about. Stop blaming everybody for the things that you have not been able to accomplish. I mean, we cannot work on complaints from January to December. We've started another January. It is all about complaints of the previous government. I mean, when are we going to move? We need to make steps. We need to stop blaming people. Handle the problem with the judiciary without having to blame the whole world.
Okay. The housing levy. Me, I am not that fully employed. We just do little things that come, gigs that comes out. And there's one company I went to, and they were talking about I my salary had to be cut a bit. I think 3%. It was 3% for the housing levy. I don't understand about the housing levy. Someone maybe like me who doesn't know what is this house levy. Will I get this house? How does this house levy work? Because we can see the problem between the state wall and the judiciary is there. The judiciary doesn't support the house levy. Was it part of the constitution before? Was it involved the constitution before? Like I've never read about it. I don't know. Maybe you tell us.
No, the housing levy is not in the constitution. It was just a proposed part of the finance bill that people would be taxed. Was it 3% or 2.5%? I think it's 2.5% from the salaried people. And that money will be used to build houses that apparently are cheaper. And these houses are supposed to benefit Mama Mboga and mtu wa boda boda. But logically speaking, you see, there are houses that have already been complete of this project. For example, in Nakuru, the houses have already been complete, but they are being sold at 1.2 and 1.3 million. Yes.
Oh my God.
And you wonder how
collect
is
the
this?
money.
Yes,
The money is getting collected. Okay.
How is this? How is this for the benefit of Mama Mboga? How will mtu wa boda boda afford 1.3 million to purchase these houses?
Okay, the houses are built already, but they are you purchase it.
Yeah.
And we every day the salaried people. Before we had the president when he was talking about the levy taxation on the budgeting of 2023 and 2024. He said we are going to be the tax that is going to be cut for salaried people. We are going to work. The salaried people are going, not me, are going to work for the people who are jobless. So how come this house? Because the house levy was supposed, if I'm cut, the 3% is taken from my salary. It's going to benefit the person who is not working. The house is going to be for him to afford. But I didn't know they have to purchase it while the taxation is getting cut.
No, nobody is getting a house for free. What was supposed to happen was these houses were supposed to be available to the common mwananchi at cheap rates. For example, normally bedsitter around CBD or around Nairobi should be 7,000 or 8,000, about there, right? But these houses, they are going to be units that they are better than bedsitters, but you can get them at rates of about 3,000. And he launched the project in, I think, Eldoret, in his home area, and he said those ones are going to be there at 3,000. Then how can we trust what we have not seen, yet what we have already seen is already not practical? Because if you had worked on the ones that are already built, give them to the people at those rates, then okay. But then you're selling these houses at 1.3 million shillings, but then you're promising us the ones that we are going to be getting at 3,000 shillings. We have lost trust in the government, and that is why it looks punitive right from the start. It is not here to benefit the common mwananchi. The rich are getting richer every day, and the poor are going to get poorer every day, because we will always be overtaken by those who are up there. You need to pay a 10% deposit for you to even book the housing. How much is 10% of 1.3 million shillings?
And you should have.
Yes, that is the deposit that you're supposed to pay, that Mama Mboga is supposed to pay,
Oh my gosh.
that mtu wa boda boda is going to pay. I mean, it is not practical.
This is so hot, and we are discussing about the war between the judiciary and the state. And now because the rupture started when the judiciary didn't support the housing levy cut from salaried people, the people working. In Kenya right now, with analysis, the statistically is talking about someone to want to live comfortably, you should be paid a salary of 50, 100 to 150,000.
Yeah.
That is when you can stay comfortably in Kenya. You can afford rent, pay school fees, and do all other needs. So right now, for someone who has a lower salary, I remember in the former government, His Excellency, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, he talked about people are supposed to be taxed. Someone who gets a salary between 20,000 and above, that is someone who's supposed to be taxed. What happened to the implementation? Because he was part of the government, and the current president now was part of the government. Because will you wish for the same state, the same forum to be brought back? Is it the way to go? Because we can see now wananchi wa kawaida complaining, maisha imekuwa ngumu, maisha ni ngumu. Ukienda tu kwa mwananchi wa kawaida muulize tu unaendelea, maisha ni ngumu, tax ni mingi. Do you think the taxation is the way? Taxation is the way.
I do not think taxation is the way. Economists will tell you that you cannot tax yourself into growing. Like, you cannot be taxing literally everything. Yeah, owning 2 goats, you have to pay for it. When you start farming, you have to pay for it. The land rates, they have increased. Everything, literally, everything is about taxation, taxation, taxation. See, there was a point people are even saying that at this rate, I should be taking the taxes and the government should be taking the salary. Because you're realizing that the taxes are a lot higher than what you're receiving as a person. And we are supposed to do the development. If I do not have the money, then there is no way I'm going to inject into the community, into the economy. And again, where are these taxes going? Because we are being taxed since he got into office. So far, what have the taxes done for us? Yeah, we are not seeing anything that we can say it is okay, you tax us so much, but then your taxes, here they are. We can account for them and say this is what we use for your taxes. We are not seeing anything. We're just seeing payment of government employees and state travels, and there is nothing tangible on the ground to show what these taxes are doing. So taxation is not the way, and they should stop overtaxing people.
Well, that is the discussion we have about the state of the nation, and we had His Excellency's, it's called the state war and the judiciary. Sorry, We don't know how about it, how it will go. We just viewers of the citizen. She talked. Gitaranga said that the citizens are getting tax is not the way, because now if you own a cow, you want to start farming, you'll be taxed because you have to pay, and the taxation is high. That's a message to the state, because it's not us who say all this. It is the people. The people are the ones talking, saying it. And she's talking about the housing levy, and the houses that affordable houses is actually being purchased at something like a 1.2 million. My question always goes to you. You talk about the vulnerable people. The vulnerable people are you say, why do you always say the mama mboga, boda boda, anyone is? Why do you people refer the mama mboga, the vulnerable people? Because people just, you hear any politician coming to campaign,
Mhm.
jangalia mama mboga.
No, I think um, it is not to say that anybody who is mama mboga is by definition poor, or they are the only people who are vulnerable in society. It is just a term that is used to define the common mwananchi. It is like just like the Wanjiko term.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the Wanjiko term is also used to define the common mwananchi, but it does not mean anybody called Wanjiko is suffering, right? Yeah, so it is people who are struggling. I would say anybody who is struggling to table their basic needs is a person who is struggling. The three basic needs are food, shelter, and clothing. If you're struggling to dress, you're suffering. If you're
Okay.
struggling to put food on the table, you're suffering. If you're struggling to pay rent, you're suffering. These are the people that we've been talking about. We are trying to elevate our community such that everyone is able to at least live a comfortable life, a decent lifestyle, but then taxation is not the way. Because if you say you're going to tax